Live again to talk about your favorite Ozzy Osbourne. I think this is the third or fourth time third time in 2 days, fourth time in the last week or so that I've gone live to talk about Ozzy Osbourne. Two of those were scheduled, however, in my defense. We did a live chat to talk about those early days with the Blizzard of Oz and some of the drama that went on with that. And I think it's interesting because some things came out today, a news story about some ex-Ozzy bandmates and everyone's reacting. I mean, this guy, Ozzy Osbourne, died, for those who don't know, living in a cave or whatever. And a lot of people are coming out and, sharing their memories and, saying things. And it's mostly been positive that I've seen, although I do know that he had some feuds with people, some issues, including the people I'm about to mention, these two ex-bandmates. I thought there was bad blood with some of them. I know with Jakey Lee, obviously they had mended the fences because Jakey Lee was at his last live event, the final concert. So I just wanted to share. I just thought this was interesting because I feel like whenever someone dies, it's of course it's sad, it's terrible, but you do try to learn from people's lives. I mean, Ozzy led 76 years on this earth. So what can you learn from that? Well, let me share this story with you. This is interesting if I can bring this screen up without screwing it up. Okay, so ex-Ozzy Osbourne bandmates Jake E. Lee and Bob Daisley share tributes. So Lee, who played guitar in Ozzy's solo band from 82 to 87, writes, "Still processing it. The finality of it hits me in waves." Lee also shared a text he received from Ozzy 2 weeks ago, seemingly just after Lee had performed at Ozzy and Black Sabbath's Back to the Beginning farewell concert on July 5th. And this is from Ozzy. It's pretty cool. "Hi, Jake. I'm so sorry I couldn't spend more time with you on the weekend, but it was really chaotic," the text reads. "I would really like to see you when I eventually get back to Los Angeles to shoot the shit. It's been a long time since we saw each other. Where have are you living these days? Because the last thing I heard, you were living in Las Vegas." I think he is in Las Vegas. "How did the gig go for you on Saturday? I really hope you had fun. Anyway, I will text you when I eventually get back to LA, and we must hook up. Much love and respect." That's really cool to see. Now, Daisley, who was Ozzy's original solo bass player, writes, "This is a sad day and has brought me to tears. When I reminisce about Ozzy and my times together, I think about the fun, the laughs, and of course, what we created together musically, which will live much longer than these mortal bodies that we inhabit." Daisley continues, "My condolences to everyone who you've left behind, Ozzy. Nothing can change the true friendship that we once had. I'll see you on the other side." That was from, I just want to give these people credit, KSHE 95, some website, but I think it's all over the internet. So I don't know. Not sure who, I mean, I think initially it was from these people's social media accounts, and all the websites have run with it. But anyways, do want to give them credit so they don't sue me. Uh, but speaking of lawsuits, I just think it's interesting because again, I go back to, I'm pretty sure Jakey Lee had a lawsuit with Ozzy, and I know Bob Daisley did. And so they settled this stuff, or, at this point in their lives, they're kind of like maybe not necessarily over it. There's probably still some hurt feelings there or whatever, and some financial things that they're upset about. But in the end, like, Ozzy's gone. And so how do you want to leave it? Do you want to leave it bitter? And I mean, it sounds like at least with Jakey Lee, they were talking. Went to the concert. I mean, they had figured out whatever problems they had, they were able to squash it, and rightfully so. And I think, and I don't know how the whole story about all the drama, but they found a way. So, I mean, did he die? Did Ozzy die with peace with these two people? Well, definitely Jake, because they were texting each other and stuff. With Bob, I don't know. I mean, that was kind of a nice move by Bob to say that. Bob could have said something really nasty and, hurtful, and maybe his anger is more towards Sharon. I don't know. I'm sure somebody in the comments will explain all the details with me, or it'll be in the next live stream I do. There's a lot of information, a lot to unpack there. But I guess my whole point with this thing was, are these feuds worth it? I mean, you could look at celebrity things. There's all sorts of, not necessarily even just rock stars and musicians, but other entertainment people, sports people, business people, political people. A lot of that shit going, a lot of feuds. But is there someone in your life personally that you'd like to make amends with? Or are you happy holding on to that grudge? Is it sometimes best to keep toxic people out of your life? I don't know. I mean, it's something to think about. With Jakey Lee and Ozzy, I just feel like I don't even remember what the issue is, but everything I've seen with Jake is like he's like a pretty mellow, down to earth guy that just like to play guitar. So it was just silly to not squash that feud right away. But sometimes maybe is it just best also not even necessarily that the person is toxic or whatever, but maybe it's best to just let sleeping dogs lie. Like maybe you had a bad breakup with an ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend. The relationship's over. You both moved on. She's married with 6 kids. You're married and divorced with 4 kids. But is it really worth to going back in time and stirring that pot up again? I mean, maybe it was a 6-month relationship from 20 years ago and there's no kids or anything in the picture. So why reach out to them, you know? But, maybe there was somebody that was a friend or a business partner or somebody that you had a 20-year relationship with and it just ended and then you look back and go, God, that was so stupid. Is there, why do I have beef with this person? Um, I remember just a few years ago, like reaching out to somebody and just going like, hey man, like, I don't know what happened, but I just want to say, like, we were friends and I know we had some beef or whatever. And I want to apologize for whatever I did, and I want to make peace with you, basically. Never heard from him. But then it was funny because I saw him out and I walked up and I said, hey, how's it going? And he was like, oh, hey man, how you doing? And I was like, shook his hand and then everything was fine. I think maybe he just didn't want to respond to the text. And, but now we text each other and we're not best friends or whatever, but I've made peace. And that is a really good feeling to make peace with somebody that, especially if you living in the same town or you're in the same circles or you're in the same business or whatever, and you're worried, what if I see them at this place? It's so stupid to hold on to these grudges. Most of them are just so silly and ridiculous. So I don't know, just something to think about. When I saw that story with Ozzy and Jakey Lee, I was like, oh, that's so cool. Like, and you've seen that with a lot in the music world. Like you've seen even Don Dokken and George Lynch, if you're a fan of those guys, I think they've squashed it. Guns N' Roses, they're back together, Slash and Axel, rightfully so. They make great music. So I don't know, just something to think about, and just wanted to go live and talk about that. So let me know what you think in the comments. I don't see any comments right now, but this video will be up here after it's live, and you can write your comments away and tell me off or give a great opinion. Thanks so much for watching. Sure, I'll be back in a couple days to talk more about Ozzy or whatever it is going on in the world that's interesting to me. Thank you. Bye-bye.